Clunk. Clunk, Mike.
Clunk.
Good. Thank you. Perfect sound check. Wonderful.
Look, you got to give me more direction here. Yeah.
What's my motivation?
All you told me was clunk, Mike. This material is terrible. Oh dear.
Well, you do insist on wearing fake leather skin pants, so... Okay, are you ready?
Sure.
Good. Now, the one thing that I need to be careful of...
Yeah.
In fact, let's reset the counter now and count how many times I call this film Black Box.
Uh-huh.
Rather than
Yeah.
Black Bag.
Yeah.
And roll the tape.
Colin had a problem and a microphone to spare. Thomas took it up and so the podcast went to air. For weeks and months they trolled through every single DVD. They've unwrapped all the ones they can and now they're cellulose free. Now they're cellulose free.
Hello, dear listener, and welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin, and with me as always is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son, Thomas.
Hi, hello.
What have you been up to?
So, John Kudelka,
Yes.
artist, former political cartoonist for The Mercury, produces a calendar every year, and it usually comes out around late November, early December. And this year, it came out Wednesday, Tuesday.
Take away the number
Monday.
first, divide by 7.
Yes, the Halloween. It came out on Halloween.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So it's spooky calendar.
yeah. Completely unexpected. Everyone involved wasn't expecting it for weeks.
Uh-huh.
And then it all shows up, and so, well, better put it all out then. And so, on Saturday, I went out to go and get it, and also go for a walk from a different starting spot than usual.
Yeah.
Completely forgetting that, of course, the Kudelka shop is in Salamanca, where, would you believe this, Saturday is market day.
It is, and Salamanca is a large stretch of road that is closed off on a Saturday
Yeah,
for hundreds and hundreds of market stalls.
yeah,
Yeah, you picked your day.
yeah. I was not distracted. I got in.
You didn't get your Dagwood dog then?
No,
Oh.
no. I got in. I got the thing that I wanted, and then I sodded off in the other direction,
We'll sort off. Yawn.
which, took me up to the gardens briefly. I was only at the gardens in order to fill up my drink bottle, because that's where a refill station is.
Okay.
But, of course, I entered the gardens from the bottom, so I had to go all the way up, and then all the way back down again.
That's crazy bonkers.
Yeah.
Is there one at Cornelian Bay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
And there's one right at the beginning of the bike track on the domain.
Yeah.
Right. So you needed to fill up between those two.
I didn't... Let me explain,
Yes.
please.
Okay.
I did not take the cycleway to the gardens.
Ah, right.
I took the track to the gardens.
Oh, right. So the top side.
Sort of middle side.
As in, sorry,
So-
in front of Government House.
Yes, that
Right.
way.
You waved
Yeah,
at the
there's-
governor.
There's a way that takes you down the Soldiers Memorial Avenue for
Yeah.
a considerable part of the way, and there's a little hilly. Not terribly hilly, but a little hilly.
Yeah.
And then there's the way that goes in front of Government House, and then there's the intercity cycleway.
Yeah. Okay. And there certainly isn't a drink refill along that section. So,
No.
okay. I'll pull my head in.
Apparently, it was the annual tomato plant sale at the botanical
Look,
gardens.
that does not make sense because you have to plant your tomatoes the day after show day.
Yeah. Which, for those not in the loop, is, sort of mid-late October as opposed to, the first weekend of November.
Yeah. Which bizarrely is not a specific date, except for making sure that it gets a Thursday show day, public holiday. But you do have to plant your tomatoes the day after that. It's the law.
Yeah.
So why they are selling tomato plants weeks after that is just bizarre. Obviously, these are the ones that they've got left. They're pulling a fast one over the people who don't know these rules and trying to get rid of their leftover stock, which are just going to die because they've been raised with the expectation they will be planted the day after show day. And then they're not, and they lose all will to live. And, quick, whilst they're still green, we've got to sell them. And those who know aren't even going to go near botanical gardens to be fooled by these Swifty-type fly-by-night tomato plant sellers. Nuh-uh.
I mean, I saw plenty of people carrying boxes out of the place.
Look, I messaged you and said, be warned. And so you didn't extend that warning to others. You didn't do your civic duty and tell these people, no, don't do it. It's too late.
No, I was...
These plants have lost the will to live. They are literally wilting in your hands. They're dead. They are stiffs, bereft of life.
I was simply taken in by the claim that they apparently have over 70 varieties of tomato plant.
Dead, very dead, extremely dead, painted green but still dead, yeah.
And so I, after that, continued on to Cornelian Bay.
I hope on the way you were tutting under your breath all the way.
I was not. In fact, I did not take what you were saying at face value.
Peter Cundall would be turning in his grave. You will have to Google Peter Cundall because that would take an entire episode. So,
met him once.
Peter Cundall, Tasmania. And yes, he would be disgusted. Anyway.
Continued on to Cornelian Bay.
Yep.
Where there was an ultimate tournament not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was just sitting around under a couple of, what are they called, marquees?
Yep.
Marquees, yeah. Not doing anything, so presumably either between games or having wrapped up about 2 hours earlier than scheduled.
They were eating their salads out of their upturned flying discs.
I certainly heard some cheers as I was further away, but could not tell why, because nobody was on the field.
They had lookouts.
Yeah.
Look out for anyone who seems to be remotely coming from the direction of the scam tomato plant sellers. And as soon as anyone spots anyone, we stop what we're doing. It's just so they move past, they move on.
And then, about 100 metres of bushland at the far end of Queen's Walk, because the path just runs out for that long. I don't know why. I don't know why it's called Queen's Walk. It's a road. It's just a road.
Because once the Lady of the Lake held forth her mighty scimitar and pointed forth along that length of grand highway and said, "Walk forth, O Queen," and making a prediction. But do not carry any dead tomato plants.
But yeah, continued on through there, up Risdon Road to Newtown, recognising that overpass road bridge over the top, and then completely forgetting that Newtown Plaza is just right after that.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, so you skipped Newtown Plaza completely?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I had no need to go in there.
No, I realise that. Thought maybe you needed to top up your drink bottle again.
No. Oh. And so, looked across the car park and I'm like, oh hey, That's probably where those cheese and bacon rolls I had earlier came from.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That is where they came from.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Took the bus back into town and then back here. And that was a good day's...
Grand adventure.
Yeah.
And you have a calendar.
Yeah.
Excellent. Which is no use to you at the moment.
No, it's still, almost 2 months until it actually goes up, but it's a good selection of art from John and Margaret.
Oh, Margaret's got some in there.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. There is a Margaret piece in there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
They're a bit of an institution in Tassie,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
John's been dealing with brain cancer, I think, for the past couple of years, and
still struggles with it, and
yeah.
still manages to get calendar out.
Art in his studio in Salamanca, and good for him.
Indeed.
Yeah. I also produced the family calendar that goes on the fridge.
Oh.
Basically a day or two after.
Ah.
And this year the heading art is Voronoi diagrams.
Right.
Which it's definitely not completely clear what the diagrams are based on. Definitely nothing to do with the month and the year.
Okay.
I definitely did not take the same text that appears in the lower left corner, throw it into Inkscape, convert it into points, and then make a diagram out of that. That's not what happened.
You've got me intrigued. Cause I'm not quite visualising what you're putting down here.
So you didn't see my Facebook post about it?
No.
Then? No.
How did I miss that? Huh. All right, I'm going to have to check out a Facebook post later.
And I guess I'll stick the photo in the show notes.
Indeed.
Because I have a photo, and I can do that.
Yep. Cool.
Also, very briefly...
right.
Very briefly. Last week...
You bought a tomato plant?
No.
Okay.
Where would I put it? Out there in what used to be a vegetable plot?
There is a planter pot that we did grow a tomato plant in once, and a frame. You could stick it in there.
Where was I? Joint Standing Committee on Electoral Matters. They announced that I have, as of now, about a week and a half to send in my submission.
Good, a hard stop.
Has that helped?
Yes,
no,
absolutely.
No, it hasn't helped.
It has boosted the motivation to 11, and you are going to get this done.
Unfortunately, the scale that 11 is on is quite a bit larger than 11.
Oh, dear.
Oh. I am a supremely unmotivated person at the best of times.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hopefully it will get done. I guess update this time next week.
Stay tuned.
When I'll have 2 days to finish it.
He's just going to be so fun to live with for the next week and a half.
Yeah. What have you been up to this week?
I motivated myself.
Oh, yeah?
Today, in fact. I made some phone calls.
Oh.
I know. Okay, so here's the thing. Our landline, which barely ever gets any use, but we have decided still handy to have.
What? Mum's mum?
Yeah,
and
Mum's
spam?
mum uses it, and it's also handy to have so that they can't send spammy text messages to it. So, there's that. But anyway, that stopped working. We got a call on the mobile from Mum's mum.
Yeah.
Saying, your phone isn't working again. And sure enough, there's a little light on the modem because it's actually a voice over internet phone connection, and the modem has a socket for the landline phone, and the light was out, and I did tests at my end, and indeed it was saying that the voice over internet was not functioning, and So I sent off a tech support request, and then the tech request said, yes, this has been passed on to tech support, so you should be hearing from them, and therefore the case is closed. So I waited and waited, and 2 days later, what was I doing? I was watching Tron Ares in the cinema, so I had my phone on mute. Well, I got a call on my mobile, and obviously they couldn't get through to me, so they left a message saying, please message us on this number, saying when you're available. So I did so, and when I did so, I stayed home all day just to make sure that I'm around when I have to read numbers off the bottom of the modem and things like that. No one called.
Yeah.
I left it another day, thinking, and then sent messages to that mobile saying, look, I'm still around, hello, and still nothing, and still nothing. And then a week later, suddenly my phone rings, and I happen to have it in my hand, so I answered it immediately, but it cut off straight away.
Right.
And then immediately got another text from the service provider saying, we tried to call you. Please reply to this text message with when you're going to be available so that we can talk to you about your voice service. And I immediately said, I'm here. Hello. Please call me now. And stayed home for the entire day.
Yeah.
And nothing. And then nothing the next day. And then the weekend came, and I thought, no one's going to contact during the weekend. And yeah, so here we are, Wednesday. I'd had enough, and it was pretty miserable and rainy, and I thought, no, I'm biting the bullet. I hate using the phone. I hate making phone calls, but I knew that no matter which way, someone is going to have to talk to me, I suspect, to make sure that the blinking lights are blinking, and possibly read MAC addresses. So I rang, and I even took a risky plunge and chose the option of when you get the waiting times are surprisingly large.
Yeah.
So if you want to remain in the queue without having to wait around with the phone connected to your ear, please press this number now. And I usually hesitate to do that, but I thought, no, I'm going to be around anyway, so I did that. And then I got a phone call, and it was a recorded message saying, if you're ready to take this call now, press 1. And so I pressed 1, and then got hold music for the next 10 minutes, because obviously they've then got to wait for someone who's available again. Well, so finally got this person, and he was incredibly helpful. Yes, it's call centre situation. It is foreign call centre situation. I am suspecting India, but one of the clearest English-speaking Indians that I've had to deal with call centre-wise, and very helpful, and we got to the bottom of it. The bottom of it being somewhere along the line, the back end has changed a number and it's cut off your voice connection. And so let's get this sorted, and indeed had to give the MAC address, and within 10 minutes it was fixed with the reassurance that, yes, this does happen, but it's not likely to happen any more than once a year. The joys of a voice over internet connection rather than a dedicated phone line. Anyway, so it's sorted, and he was very helpful. But I also, at the same time, I was on a roll. The anxiety was really high, so I made a phone call to our new local Lego superstore, which has just opened, and it was really cool. And I said, can you tell me? Yes. The big website, you click on an item and it'll tell you which stores it's available in Australia. And this website does know you exist, because if you search for stores near me, it shows your store. Can you tell me when availability in store will actually show your store? And they said, yeah, we know that's not working. Okay, can you tell me when it's going to work? So that I don't have to make phone calls to call up whether you've got a certain item. Yeah, it should be working before Christmas.
Well, yeah.
I love that phrase, because everything is before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas? That's
Yeah.
before Christmas.
Yeah. Today is before Christmas. Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, is before Christmas of the next year. So everything's before
Christmas Day. That's before the next one.
So there we go. Look, I'm going to leave those wonderful scintillating stories as my highlights for the week.
Yeah.
I certainly donated plasma. It was that fortnight, and that was cool. And got another couple of things sorted whilst I was in town. But I think we've waffled on for way long enough. We have a film to watch.
We do.
What are we watching this week?
We are watching Black Bag.
Not Black Box.
No, not Black Box.
Right. Okay. We are watching Black Bag. I should know because I selected it even though you have been wanting to watch this.
Yeah.
Would you please... You can tell I've suddenly got this just verbal diarrhea because even thinking about making phone calls makes me anxious. Yeah. And so I've got this adrenaline rush. Please tell our dear listener what a Black Bag is all about.
Catherine and George Woodhouse are both top-tier intelligence agents. What happens when Catherine is suspected of treason, and George has to decide whether to side with his wife or his nation?
Where did you grab that description from?
Google.
That's different from all the other versions, which all probably stem from IMDb. Huh. It's a little more chipper than the IMDb one.
I mean, I can pull up the one from Netflix if you want that one.
Yeah, go on. Bring up Netflix one, which is where we will be watching it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's streaming in your country or locale, if you're not in a country.
Let's see, what does Netflix say? A counterintelligence officer must find a mole inside his agency, but duty and loyalty collide when suspicion falls on his wife, a fellow operative.
Okay, well, that's what we're watching.
Yeah. Soderbergh.
It is
Soderbergh
Soderbergh.
directed. So.
And there are hints and whiffs of possibly a sequel. So
Yeah.
I guess it did well enough. Even though, is it a Netflix original?
No.
It wasn't made for. It was made for the cinema.
Yeah.
Okay, so it did get a full cinema release, and it was just Morgan was saying that the director wasn't happy with certain outcomes and what have you, but also on the day of release was whisperings of sequels. So
Have you noticed recently, looking through Netflix, that when you're looking at all the posters, they've taken the little N off of their Netflix originals.
Is that right?
If you click through, it'll show the Netflix logo if it's a Netflix original.
Right.
But browsing...
Okay. Does that suggest a lack of pride?
Possibly.
Or are they just being uniform?
I don't know.
I think it's more the first.
Yeah.
In that if you're looking at a wall of posters, there is possibly a natural tendency to avoid anything that's got the N on it. Maybe? Anyway, my goodness, we've waffled on.
Yeah.
We're going to watch this film.
Yep.
Black Bag. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about it. So we shall catch you on the flip side.
Turn to the secret side.
Turn to side bag.
That side, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what's in that side. It's a closed bag.
Yeah. Yeah, mongrel. So, what did you think?
Some proper tense stuff, innit? And just as long as it needed to be.
Yeah, that was one of the first notes that I made was, I wrote, it's 1.5 hours long, a little bit longer, but...
Yeah.
And I was wondering how it fell as far as that by the end of it, and it was just the right length.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what espionage is, really. It's a lot of sitting around and talking. And watching other people sitting around and talking.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had a good time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I did too, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the notes that I have is, was it dumb or was it smart? And I kept on flip-flopping between, look, am I being really dumb here? Am I missing something happening here? And then the next moment I'm thinking, hang on, no, that's dumb. So I'm smarter than this. And then, yeah. So I'm still somewhat at a loss as to where the coin actually ended up flipping. I really, really liked it, but I don't fully know why. And that's kind of weird. Because there were aspects of it that felt incredibly almost Murder, She Wrote / Midsummer Murders.
Well, it's about the right length.
Yeah. It was like a flashy Midsummer, and yet it wasn't all that flashy. That's one of the things I really appreciated about it. It was extremely well shot. I mean, it started off with a multi-minute one shot, following and wandering through buildings and what have you, which usually suggests, hello, this is somebody who knows their business and we're going to be in for a reasonable time here. And I was wondering, look, how long is this going to continue until it... Because I'm quite sure I would have heard if they'd gone the whole hog and filmed the whole thing in one shot. But no, he did finally break that. And rightfully so, because within minutes you also had we've got this closeness, this intimacy of shot. You know, basically the camera's right behind the character that it's following. And then 3 or 4 shots afterwards, it's a view from somebody else's vantage point a fair distance away watching. And very much a case of who's watching the watchers. And that again establishes this is the kind of thing that you're in for. It is the espionage thing. People are watching, and who can you trust? And is that level of trust going to be just a red herring or a not quite dead trout on a dinner table?
So directed by Steven Soderbergh. Cinematography credited to Peter Andrews, a frequent alias of Steven Soderbergh. And editing credited to Marianne Bernard, a frequent alias of Steven Soderbergh.
Oh, well, that's a way to make a bit of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We were talking earlier about the Oceans trilogy connection. I'm listening to the soundtrack of this film and I'm thinking, wow, this has got a real Oceans vibe to it.
Well, yes, that'll be David Holmes.
Yeah.
Not an alias of Steven Soderbergh, but a frequent contributor.
Yeah. And I honestly couldn't remember who directed the reimagining of the whole Oceans series. So, yeah. In fact, I went digging through, what have I got that it was directed by him? And I obviously didn't have a flag set properly. And so the only link that it had was, as far as things on the shelf were concerned, is him playing a vault expert in Ocean's 11. So I guess he also does bit parts or makes cameos, what have you. I don't know whether he made a cameo in this or not. Yeah, so it really had that Ocean's vibe to it, in that everything is meticulously worked out, and then it tries to lend an air of casualness to it. And sometimes I just felt that ended up heading into the sloppy area. And then they drop some really clever stuff, and I'm thinking, no, that's smart. So it's not sloppy. Yeah, so I'm back swings and roundabouts here. I think I liked it, but there are also stuff that it just really felt like I could get that kind of enjoyment from a Midsummer episode. I don't know why I'm making that comparison, because really this was not a whodunit murder type of thing, but in a way it really was. It was trying to track down who is the culprit, and you've got a series of fingers pointing at a series of people, and then you had the reveal of explain these photos, and suddenly you're given evidence right at the very last minute that obviously proves that somebody is guilty of something. And that has always confused me. Maybe it's my neurospicy brain that is thinking that this kind of thing, you're meant to be able to work it out before the smart people do. And that never seems to happen. They suddenly give you, hey, we've got this, this and this that you haven't been, as a viewer, presented with. And say, oh, that's not fair. You had extra information. We couldn't work it out without that information. So where's the fun in that? So that's where I am. Maybe I'm the wrong with that gripe. And it happens with all of these whodunits, that there is never all of the information given to the audience, and the vital bit is held off for the gathering around the table. And that was another thing that was either really dumb or really clever, was the cliched everyone sitting around the table whilst the clever people point out how we worked it all out.
Yeah.
And here's the extra bit of information that you, the viewer, don't have. And, of course. Well, no, you can't go, of course, because we didn't have that. Anyway, so that's what I live with.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else did I have notes-wise?
It's a good question.
I've only got one other thing. And, again, it's the way my mind works. They well and truly established that this guy knows his way around a kitchen.
Yeah.
And one of those things was the sticking in of the thermometer into the meat to make sure that the interior of the meat is at the right temperature. And my mind suddenly went wandering off. I have sold a number of those thermometers in my life. The very first job that I had was in a quite ritzy... I say ritzy and kitchenware in the same sentence, which doesn't sound quite right, but this is expensive kitchenware, $100 worth for each dinner plate kind of dining settings and things like that. But I certainly sold a number of meat thermometers. I've never used one in my life, and yet I suddenly thought, okay, if you're relying on this thing to make sure that the meat isn't going to kill someone, what are the legal ramifications if somebody dies because the meat isn't cooked properly, but the thermometer was actually saying that it should be cooked properly? Yeah. So all our dear listeners are thinking, he's dumb. Yeah, he's clever. He's dumb. He's clever. So my brain has worked much like this show has worked on me. Yes.
Yeah, it's smart people doing stupid things.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. It definitely set itself up for a sequel. We've got one major player where everyone knows, but he's still in play. And, yeah, there is certainly a good movie's worth of dealing with that loose end that I don't think needed to be wrapped up in the film, but certainly makes a great stepping off point for a sequel, which I would be quite happy to watch, if that's any indication as to the ultimate effect that this film had on me, is that I would certainly watch that.
I don't know if one is likely.
No, I don't think it did as well as they would have hoped.
So, budget of 50, 60 million, and it made a little under 50 million at the box office.
Yeah.
Quoting from Soderbergh on the Wikipedia page, "This is the kind of film I made my career on, and if a mid-level budget, star-driven movie can't seem to get people over the age of 25 years old to come out to theatres, if that's truly a dead zone, then that's not a good thing for movies. What's going to happen to the person behind me who wants to make this kind of film?"
Yeah, absolutely spot on. And I guess certainly my mind made connections as to similar target audiences, and the one that immediately struck me was Knives Out. Knives Out trilogy, or trilogy?
Well, there is a third one coming.
Yeah. I think audience-wise, possibly similar. But, look, I don't think I heard of this film prior to it sort of sneaking onto Netflix.
I saw the trailer as a YouTube ad a couple of times.
I guess I may, because I did have it flagged. So when it came on Netflix, it flagged that. So obviously I'd seen something somewhere. So it's possibly more my memory that's at fault here than anything else. But now the other thing that it reminded me of, the same type of audience that would have enjoyed, and I cannot remember the name of the film, it's set on that island with the restaurant and all the guests were invited.
The Menu?
The Menu. Sort of, again, the atmosphere in that remind me of the atmosphere in Black Bag. So, yeah. But he's right as far as getting audiences out. I think it's easy to point fingers, but I'm prepared to point fingers anyway. I think Marvel/Disney have a great deal to do with that. We've got, in a lot of ways, a dumbed-down audience at the moment. And also an audience that this would have been aimed at who is still quite reluctant to go to cinemas now. So I think the post-COVID thing is still having an effect.
But, I mean, COVID, sure, but possibly things were already heading this direction.
Yeah.
And it was just an accelerant.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going somewhere there.
No, I was going somewhere else, and
Right.
then I decided not to.
Oh, okay. I heard this chuckle, and I thought, okay, he's going to go off on a tangent rather than me. Hooray!
Black Bag was theatrically released first in France on March 12, 2025 by Universal Pictures, and in the United States 2 days later by Focus Features. These are, of course, both Comcast subsidiaries, so it's a bit of a distinction without a difference, really.
Yeah. And there was certainly some current political themes there that possibly made it a difficult... I don't know what's going on there. Maybe all of the actors are now a little old, and so that target audience that he was talking about trying to capture wasn't jumping at it. I think it was more aimed at people who watch Midsummer Murders.
Well, Pierce Brosnan's getting on a bit.
Oh my goodness. I could not believe that. He's, yeah.
Oh, only 72.
Only 72.
Wow.
So he's still younger than Roger Moore was when Roger Moore was still doing James Bond. So, oops, did I say that out loud?
It still gets me that after they were done with Lazenby and they brought Connery out one last time, they're like, we need someone who's younger than Connery. And so they got someone older than Connery.
Oh dear. Anyway, do you have anything else you wish to say about that film that I'm still love-hating at the moment? Yeah.
No, I think you've largely got it. I had a good time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what matters here.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'm really glad that you had a good time. And
Yeah.
I didn't have a bad time with it. It's just a befuddled time. But also recognise that I could have more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, then. We shall move on, then.
The following segment has no title. Thank you.
And we will start on Facebook with Adam.
Adam. We haven't heard from Adam for a while. Hi,
Yeah.
Adam.
I had a few hours to kill on the Gold Coast waiting for people, so I went to see Tron Ares on Colin's recommendation. I enjoyed it, and the soundtrack fit the movie well, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, I know you perhaps had reservations with the soundtrack, but maybe it's just telling a different story?
Yeah, look, I was possibly a little harsh in that... Look, I went into Tron Legacy not really having much knowledge of Daft Punk, but coming out of it recognising exactly how much that soundtrack carried that film. I think it would be fair to say that that film would be only half a film without the Daft Punk soundtrack. So he was doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Yep.
And I think that Tron Ares also needed heavy lifting done. And I don't think it quite got the lifting that Legacy got.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as far as pieces of music are concerned, they could well be, in isolation, very, very good pieces of music. But this, I'm possibly spoilt and expecting, oh, well, that wasn't Daft Punk. I knew going in that it wasn't, but I think that it's a hard task to expect anybody to emulate without being derivative. And I mean, case in point, the other week when we watched Superman, what do you do there? I love John Williams' Superman soundtrack.
Yeah.
And so does everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's a real damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And I think they did a reasonable job in the 2025, was it 2025 or 2024? It was
2025.
Superman. I think they did a reasonable job, but it was derivative. And again, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And so 9 Inch Nails?
Yes.
Were in much the same situation. And I think they made it their own.
Yeah.
But again, because of the heavy lifting that was required, it didn't. And that may well be because the other half of the film, the non-soundtrack part, was weaker than Legacy. So they were doomed as far as that was concerned. So
anyway, come back in 15 years when another electronic act is roped in to help save another mediocrely performing Tron film.
I don't know whether that's going to happen. I really don't.
It is genuinely 3 films on the trot that have just done okay or possibly even worse.
Yeah, it's a funny situation. I mean, you're well aware of my long-standing stance of there is only one Matrix movie. It's a little muddier with Tron, but I don't know.
Yeah.
There's, I think, I can't even separate the nostalgia for the first one for the, hey, this was a good sequel from Legacy, but hang on. Half of it was the soundtrack. So as far as it's
there was the other note. The music in Black Bag, very very familiar. Very familiar.
Yeah.
Very little of it.
Yeah. So much so that when it did happen, it did take me out a bit because again I was thrown back into Ocean's territory. Yeah. And I don't think it quite worked for me because it just reeked of Oceans. So, which this film wasn't.
No.
No.
Back in the comment mines, staying on Facebook, Helen.
Hi, Helen.
Has anyone ever had a thoroughly rewarding software experience? Thoroughly disappointing software experiences are a dime a dozen. Or in Thomas's case, free. Sometimes you do get what you pay for. Spent some hours off and on last night trying to get into my Canva account so that I could try out the new Affinity Studio. Just refused to send me a verification code.
Oh, okay.
And then I had to dig through to find where a support email was, because all of Canva's support options try to funnel you towards having logged in already, which is difficult when you can't log in.
Yep.
I'm going through all the steps, and eventually I do find a way to contact support, and it takes one additional email. for it to be resolved.
I'm actually stunned that you actually got a response, because I reckon they're being hammered for support at the moment. So
well, initially I emailed them, and it just comes back with, a response. Well, you should log in. You should log in and contact us that way. But there is a link buried in that email that's like, but there is this other way. You can file a ticket. And then it takes some more digging from that link to actually get to, I think, account recovery. And it's like, well, I guess we just weren't sending you emails, even though this is the correct email.
Right.
And then, the moment after, I was like, okay, I try to log in. In comes the verification code, so I guess that's that. Have not actually tried the software yet, because I had other things going on, but...
I am kind of curious, because I did install it on my machine, and it throws up the splash screen to begin with, and then instantly throws an error and crashes out. The problem is that the error it's splashing out at you is at the same time telling you, do you want to turn on error reporting? And you can't click on it. It's up for a flash, and even when I think I've got my mouse in the right spot to tap on it, it still doesn't do anything. So, yeah. So I've certainly had my joys with software this week. That and MyGov.
Mm-hmm.
Which has absolutely no way of contacting them with a problem. This is a government app.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with the actual app, not a question about, payments or anything like that. My app isn't behaving like it's supposed to. And I finally went on to Google Play that did have an email address.
Yeah.
And it bounced back with an automatic message saying, this is unattended. You'll need to call. I was thinking, you do all this trying to force people into using computers and not speak to people.
Yeah.
Sorry, do go on, Helen.
Meanwhile, back on the bridge, do we have a timeline for the new bridge pathway build? Who is going to pay for it? Will they actually measure anything before they build stuff? If the building company questions any of the specs, will the government deny them access to the design brief? Can it be built with fewer than 10 major debacles? Is there any chance of me getting less cynical in my old age?
Oh, look, I've had a joke for literal years as to what is going to happen first. Are they going to fix the pedestrian access to the bridge? Which has become purely, are they going to fix the cycling access to the bridge?
Yeah.
All of the paperwork makes no mention of pedestrians being on it, but cyclists are all, at least, this is looking decent. But what's going to happen first? Is the bridge going to be fixed, or is a certain large local roundabout going to be fixed?
Yeah.
And, they're leapfrogging.
Yeah. Well,
and there is no line at the end of this leapfrog race. They're just going to keep leapfrogging each other.
Well, we do have an answer to that conundrum. It's not the first one, because we have now established that the first one is impossible. Actually fixing pedestrian access.
Oh, yeah.
It's not possible without building a new bridge.
No.
Which is going to happen eventually, and I have no idea where.
It's going to have to be the same place. They're going to have to do what they did when they built this bridge, the current bridge. It replaced a bridge which was right next to it.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to go that way again, I think.
And so everyone's going to have to go up to the Bowen.
Oh, no. They built the...
the floating bridge. The floating bridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there enough willpower to build another floating bridge?
No, I'm not saying they need to build, but that's the place that they're basically going to have to build.
Yeah.
A replacement bridge is where the original bridge that this replaced was going to go. Anyway, isn't this gripping stuff, people?
Yeah. Will they actually measure anything before they build stuff? Apparently, they're doing this minor consultation, but can't actually change anything about the designs before it goes out.
So we just get as I said last week, the work experience kid to just make the cars smaller.
Yeah.
And the people bigger. Oh, he should have done it the other way round.
Yeah.
Make the people smaller, the pedestrians and the cyclists smaller, so that they fit easier on the space that's there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you don't have to do anything about the maintenance gantries either. They just slip under.
Yeah.
Helen continues. Although I'm not necessarily averse to weird, I don't think this film's weirdness sounds like my kind of weird.
Just a reminder, we're talking about Hundreds of Beavers.
Yes. And with a comment on Discord from Gertrude Perkins that just reads yes.
Thanks, Gertrude Perkins.
It will take us up to the one guess from Helen.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of weird, though, my guess is Hundreds Beavers. That's 100S BVRS. I listen to the podcast when I do an evening walk, and there were raised triumphal arms as I wandered around the esplanade tonight, and the winner of the arbitrary point was announced. Gumboots? Where did that come from? Doesn't matter. You won't remember, and nor will I.
Oh, I do.
I wasn't sure there was anything to remember.
What, about gumboots?
No.
You don't remember gumboots?
No, I don't remember gumboots.
Oh, right. I'm a bit stunned by that. Whenever one of the children would ask, can I have such and such? And I would say, what's the secret word? And they'd say, please. I said, no, it's gumboots. You don't remember that?
No.
I wonder if anybody else does. I'll have to ask in the morning. Yeah. No, but again, that kicks the question can down the road as to where did it originate from then. And mists of time, that is.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, Helen, you are close but wrong.
Yeah, close but wrong.
You did not remember all of the rules, because instead of an S after the digits 100, you needed an underscore.
Yeah. You were probably looking at that. It's a better guess.
Yeah.
I mean, your guess is a better file name than I ended up going for, but yeah.
Haven't the foggiest, he says, having already looked at it during the break, haven't the foggiest what this week's file name
it's going to be tough,
could possibly be. This one with potentially up to 8 alphanumeric characters, and definitely nothing to do with the film that we watched.
What, Black Box?
Oh, okay. Pull up the tally counter. Somehow we're only at 2.
Yes, but 2 is enough to throw shade on the whole fabric of reality here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a guess, people, as to what 8 alphanumeric characters or less I have used to create a file name for the recording of today's podcast that doesn't get used ever again.
No.
Yeah.
Or film suggestions or comments on our comments in all the usual places.
Yep.
Do
Thomas
write
is
in.
busy pointing down at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
For all of our video podcast watchers.
Yep.
Yep. Click there.
Like, comment and subscribe.
Yep. And hit the dingly dang.
Yeah. Hit the bell. There's... the bell isn't really there anymore, though, is it?
I don't know.
It's sort of tucked away inside the subscribe button, which is... It's a choice.
It is. Speaking of choices, we've gone on way too long for this episode, especially considering I'm only going to have half a day to edit this. So, dear listener, if you have noticed that this is delayed coming out, yes, this is why. So we're going to move on.
Pick a film for next week so we can go to bed.
And it's your turn.
It's very fascinating that you bring up the concept of choice because, it's been 4 weeks,
It has.
so there isn't really one.
Too ridiculous, too crazy, too slow to be in the fast lane.
So, it's the 8th film. We've been over so many variations of the title formula of this franchise.
Yeah.
What could this possibly be? It's a stupid pun. This is The Fate of the Furious.
The Fate of the Furious.
Yeah. Which is still not the last film.
So it's the fate of some of the Furious.
Yeah.
Gee, imagine the file name for that. The Fate of Some of the Furious. Yes. Okay. Please tell our dear listeners what The Fate of the Furious is all about.
Dominic's idyllic life with Letty is interrupted when he is coerced by Cypher, a mysterious cyber-terrorist, into betraying his team. The crew must now find Dom and Cypher before she unleashes chaos. Yeah, there's the twist at the end. The mysterious cyber-terrorist is a woman.
Right. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
That is...
because we're doing spy films now.
We are.
Yep.
Can't we instead, just for file name's sake, instead watch The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford? I'm only doing this to make this episode just a little bit longer.
You're making things harder for you.
Dear listener, Helen...
Well, it is on SBS On Demand at the moment, apparently.
Just.
So, it is an option that you may choose to pursue on your own week. For me,
next week,
personally, I have something to uphold.
That's right. And other viewers who are anxiously wanting to see this through to the bitter end.
Yeah.
Next week is not the bitter end.
No.
It is the fates of the furious. Fates? Of the
fate.
The
Singular.
fate of the furious.
They all share the same
Yes.
fate, which is to go on to produce more
movies.
movies.
Except for the ones that don't.
Well, yes.
Yes. Okay. Next week. We hope you can join us, but until then, we will catch you next time.
Bye.
You have been listening to Cellulose Free. Your hosts were Colin, who produces and edits the show, and Thomas, who makes the artwork and music. Cellulose Free is recorded in the Deranged Cat Studios in scenic Tasmania, Australia. We keep track of our extensive physical media collection through My Movies, which we highly recommend. You can find links to that, as well as other places you can find us in the show notes. Cellulose Free is a Hi Hello production.
Bye.
Bye.
The end.
Bye.
There's no more. Go home. Go
Bye.
home. Go home. I'm stopping.
Thought I heard someone talking somewhere else, but...
He is dead people.
Well, that would be worrying.